What up, y'all? Mr. Clutch, 1987 here. Been kind of busy lately. Haven't really had a chance to post any videos. Been away for a little bit, dealing with everyday life, trials, tribulations, ups and downs. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I've been keeping up best I could, watching you guys' videos, watching your new pickups, seeing the new additions to your collections and everything. I've been really digging the, my top 10, my collection, top 10 books in my collection videos. Been really enjoying watching those. Watching people tag in, tag out. But I noticed nobody tagged me. So after waiting for a little bit, I figured, damn that, I'll tag myself. So I decided I'm going to do my own top 10 books in my collection video. I think it was 74 Susu. I was watching his, and he made a good point. He was like, actually a couple of people said that too, but I remember him saying that. He made a good point. He said that, it's just really next to impossible to really pick only 10 books, out of your collection. So, I thought about that, and as I was going through mine, I noticed he was right. I just couldn't come up with 10 and leave it at that. I eventually got, okay, my top 10, that was great. That'll be coming later. But I got, I think 5 here that are just honorable mention. They're just books that, for whatever reason, I just couldn't go without giving some kind of love to. So, the first books I'm going to show are my honorable mention books. This first one here is the one that started it all off, y'all. Uncanny X-Men 147. This is the one that got me the bug. This is the one that started it. I remember I was coming home. I don't know if I was coming home from school, coming home from my practice or something like that. I was like 13, 14 years old, and I stopped in 7-Eleven. And I remember I was getting my Big Gulp Slurpee, whatever it was at the time. And you guys are like my age range. I'm going to date myself. But you guys probably remember 7-Eleven used to have those big, like, wire metal spinner racks or whatever. They used to put the comic books on. And the ones that made, like, all that crazy noise and the squeaking and when you used to try to turn it. Some of you guys probably know what I'm talking about. But I was going by one of those, and I just happened to glance over, and I saw this book. And I remember I just like, wow, first of all, the colors and everything just got me. It's like, man, it drew my attention. So I remember looking, and let me see if I get a better shot here. I remember the first thing I remember seeing was like, man, who's that girl? That was the first thing. You guys got to remember, I was like 13, 14-year-old boy at the time. So enough said on that one. And then I looked down here, it's like, man, who's that blue guy right there? And then that blue guy right there, and who's this dude with the wings? And even though I hadn't really read comic books, I watched all the cartoons and, Spider-Man and everything that was on TV at the time. So I knew Dr. Doom, so I saw him. And I'll just never forget it. It got me. So, needless to say, I picked it up, went home, read it. The story was just dope, and I was hooked ever since. I was not only just a comics fan, but that's why I fell in love with the X-Men, and yeah, this is the one that started it all. That's why I couldn't do a top 10 without giving this at least an honorable mention. X-Men 147. Next honorable mention, Tales of Suspense, number 52. This one is kind of beat up, as you guys can tell, not the best shape, but it's all good. This one is up there because one of my favorite characters made her first appearance in this one. That young lady right there, the Black Widow. She's been one of my favorite characters for a while also. I just really liked her because she was, had an interesting origin, interesting start. Super spy, superhero, super villain. She was very complicated, and I dug that about her. Looking forward to seeing Scarlett Johansson play her again in the Avengers movie. I think she's a great choice, so really looking forward to that. And like I said, she's been one of my favorite characters, so this is a book that, that I just really, I like. Even though, looking at her right here, she doesn't look too much like super spy, superhero, super villain. She looks more like, I don't know, Ginger from Gilligan's Island with her little fur and the dress and the hat, but, whatever. She made some changes, obviously. But, yeah, next honorable mention, Tales of Suspense 52, first appearance of the Black Widow. Next, Iron Fist 14. You guys all know this one. First Sabretooth. a lot of guys were saying in their videos, and I wholeheartedly agree, that, this is our top 10 favorites in our collection list. It's not necessarily our top 10 most valuable, top 10, most popular. I'm going to have some that are on my top 10 that made my top 10 that, aren't as valuable as some of these, but, that's all good. I can deal with that. Because, it's all about just the monetary thing. It's just some reason those books, they interest me more, they grab me more, they grab my attention, whatever. But yeah, I agree with the guys that are saying that. This one, great book. Key issue. First Sabretooth. Honorable mention, but it just didn't crack my top 10. Like the book, though. Next. Fantastic Four, 48. You guys know this one, too. First Silver Surfer, First Galactus. See if I can get in a little bit better. Once again, another great book. Love the cover. Classic Kirby. Key issue. Just couldn't quite crack the top 10. And my last honorable mention here. If I can do it without knocking them all over. Iron Man #1. Love Iron Man. Definitely one of my top favorite characters ever. And he will definitely be represented in my top 10 video or my top 10 list. Don't even worry about that. Just this book itself isn't quite the one. Nice book. Love it. But once again, couldn't quite crack the top 10. But strong honorable mention, Iron Man #1. Alright, so now starting the top 10, coming in number 10. Marvel Spotlight #5. First appearance of Ghost Rider. It really came down to this one and, Iron Fist 14 as to which one's going to get the number 10 spot. I couldn't really decide. Both of them great books. Basically just came down to, which character do I like the best. And I just like Ghost Rider a little bit more than I like Sabretooth. That's basically it. Number 9. Submariner #1. You guys probably saw this one on one of my previous videos. I showed the book, and everybody knows how I feel about Submariner. One of my favorite characters. So that's why this one is here. He had to be represented. Number 9, Submariner #1. Number 8, another book that I showed in a previous video. Iron Man Submariner #1. I told you guys Iron Man will be represented. There you go. Love this book. Love the cover. Two of my favorite characters. Got Iron Man smashing through the wall right there. Submariner flying overhead. Can't beat it. Number 8, Iron Man Submariner #1. Number 7, first CGC book in my top 10. Incredible Hulk 181. 8.0, off-white pages. Hopefully you guys can see that. Another book, you guys all know what this one is. One of the key issues of the Bronze Age, well, just comics in general. First Wolverine. Also, in my opinion, one of the best covers in comics. Hulk Wolverine battle, got the Wendigo in the background. Yeah. Very nice book. Actually, see if I can get a better look, show you guys around it. The top edge is great. That corner. Perfect edge there. That corner. And the bottom is the same. Only thing that keeps this book from being higher, if I can get it in, there you go, right there is the spine. You can see it's off cut. You can see all the white part in the end. Got some staple damage there a little bit. Got a little hint of spine roll as well. But yeah, it's a spine. Without that spine, this is definitely a 9.2 or better. But, still got an 8.0. Still a very nice book, key issue. One of my favorites. I'll take it. Hulk 181. At number 6, Journey into Mystery 85. Another great book. It's the third appearance of Thor, early Thor appearance. It's also the first time that Asgard is shown. First appearance of Asgard, I guess. First time it's shown in comics. It's also a brief cameo, first appearance of Odin. I believe he's got like one panel or something like that. But, of course, what this one is actually known for and what makes this one such a key issue, first appearance of that guy right there. First appearance of Loki, Thor's half-brother, made his first appearance here. This is a great book, too. I love this one. Very, very nice shape. The only thing that's really holding it back, if you guys can see it, there it is, yep, Marvel chipping. That's the only thing that really holds this thing back. Other than that, the corner's in nice shape, head is in nice shape, spine's in nice shape. The colors you guys can kind of see, hopefully. Colors are bright. Another great cover. Classic Silver Age. Yeah, that's why this one made it. Number 6, Journey into Mystery 85. Number 5, another CGC book, one I kind of alluded to in one of my earlier videos, just haven't, had a chance to show it until now. Fantastic Four, number 5, 3.5, white pages. First appearance, not only one of the greatest villains of all time, one of the greatest characters in history of comics, Dr. Doom. Touched on in my earlier video, he's one of my favorite characters. I said I would kind of get into why. Basically, this comes down to he's just not your typical, I guess, villain, bad guy. I want to steal, blow up stuff, take over the world, just because I can, because I feel like it. Doom is more complicated than that. He is one of these characters that his reasons are not really, quote-unquote, purely evil, I guess you want to call it that. He really believes that what he's doing is right. He doesn't think he's wrong. He just thinks that, you know what, I'm going to take over the world because the world is in a pretty piss-poor state, and it would be better if everybody followed me. And he doesn't think that what he's doing is wrong. And I think characters like that are very, very interesting to me. They're just not your typical, I'm a, big guy, bad guy. I'm going to come in, I'm going to do stuff just because I'm evil and that's what I want to do. He's more interesting than that. He is more complicated than that. And I like complicated characters. I like characters with just not your typical psyche, not your typical mindset. And he is definitely the epitome of that. Doom and Magneto is the same way. That's why he's another one of my favorite villains and characters also. He's another guy, he does, bad things. He does quote-unquote evil things, but he's doing it for the right reason. He thinks he's truly right. And those characters just interest me. So, yeah. Doom was one of my favorites. This is where he made his first appearance. Another nice book. Give you guys a little bit better look, go around it a little. Hopefully you guys are picking this up pretty well. So, yeah. Favorite. Fantastic Four, number 5. First appearance, Dr. Doom. Number 4. X-Men number 1. CGC 3.5. Off-white pages. When it started it all, yo. First appearance of Angel, Beast, Marvel Girl, Cyclops, Iceman, Professor X, and as I just spoke, Magneto. All made their first appearances in this book. Key issue. Also, always be my favorite title. So, of course, it has to get a spot in my top 10. This book got some chipping right there. You can see, typical to be expected. So a couple little creases, a little wear and tear, but it'll do. I like it. Value place in my collection. Number 4, X-Men number 1. Number 2 and number 3, I just really, I couldn't decide. You can kind of flip a coin, I guess. But since, I had to make a decision, I decided to go number 3. Avengers number 1. CGC 4.5, off-white pages. First appearance of the Avengers, of course. Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Giant Man, Wasp. Well, he's not Giant Man, he's Ant-Man here. Before he becomes one of his many characters, Giant Man, Goliath, Yellow Jacket. I don't know, dude's a schizophrenic, he can't decide. But yeah, Hank Pym. See, hopefully that glare is not too bad. This Mylar is like super duper shiny on this one. Got a little chip right there. Other than that, very nice book. Like I said, number 3 and number 2, I couldn't really decide between the two of them. So, that being said, number 2. Avengers number 4. First Silver Age Cap. Yeah, this one and my number 1, they're both right up there. As I said, I couldn't decide, so 3 and 2, 2 and 3. You can pretty much flip-flop them, whichever. This one is just, man, the quintessential Silver Age cover right there. You got Cap just jumping out at you. You got the Avengers action shot, action pose. You got my boy Submariner up there in the corner. Gotta dig that. Not only is it just one of the best looking covers and most memorable covers, it's also a very key issue. It's where Captain America made his return. You gotta love it. This is a nice mid-grade copy, I think. Not perfect, but not terrible. So yeah, number 2 and 3, 3 and 2, however you want to put them. Avengers number 1, Avengers number 4. So now for number 1, some of you guys probably can guess it already, figuring it out just from what you've seen, haven't seen, knowing that, I'm an X-Men fan, X-Men nut. Guess it kind of goes without saying. Top book in my collection, number 1. Giant Size X-Men number 1. 9.2. Off-white, white pages. I really hope you guys can pick this up. If not, sorry about that. But, yeah. As I talked about earlier, it's not always about the most valuable, which one is worth the most. Obviously this one isn't worth as much as, the first X-Men, X-Men number 1, but, it's not about that. I kind of gave you guys, how I got started with my 147, and these are the characters that did it for me. The characters that I saw in that book, they made their first appearance here. The ones that caught my eye, the ones that made me, fall in love with this title and these people, these characters. Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Wolverine made a second appearance here. Yeah. Another great cover. Many, many times imitated, duplicated. X-Men busting through the page right there. Got the originals right there. Yeah. Just the importance of the book, the importance of these characters to me. And then the fact that, it's in great shape. It's 9.2. Near mint 9.2. Gotta love it. I still sit back and this is a book when I want to just go back and, just relax and chill. And I always manage to grab this one and pull it out of the box and just stare at it for a while. So it wasn't really a hard decision to figure out what my favorite book is, my number one book is. This is my pride and joy. Not too many days go by that I don't pull it out and look at it. Guess you guys can tell why this is number one. So, yeah, that's it. That's my top 10, y'all. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, now I'm on that subject. Let me get on a little sidebar. I'm going to do my little soapbox for a little bit. But one thing I dig about this community and I love about the YouTube comic community is, you know, we all pull for each other. You know, there's no hating, there's no jealousy. You would think with something like this that there would be, but, you know, there really isn't. You know, we're all happy for each other. We're all excited for each other. We all dig looking at each other's collections, and, you know, that's the way we are. I mean, like, you know, when 123 Comic Man, when, you know, he adds another book to his X-Men, you know, run, and he gets closer, you know, we get proud of that. I'm proud of that. You know, 74 Susu, when he picks up his 15th copy of X-Men number 12. Little joke there. You guys that know him, watch his videos, you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, we're happy about that. And I just really dig that. And I just want to give, you know, kudos to everybody in the community, everybody that, you know, we all follow each other and we all do our things. So there's no hating. We're just all genuinely happy for each other, and we vibe, and that makes this beautiful. I just love it. I love being a member of it. And, you know, that being said, I'll get off my soapbox. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. You know, maybe you think something should be higher. Maybe you think something should be lower. You know, give me some comments. Give me some feedback like we always do. But in the meantime, Mr. Clutch, 1987. I'm out. Boom.